Hi there YouTubers, Joshua724 here again. This tutorial has to do with some of the engines in Minecraft, particularly I believe it is in Buildcraft. Now, I'm doing this mainly because it took me quite a long time just to find any piece of information I could on how each individual engine worked and what I would need to do to keep them working. I don't know if that's because they were based on tutorials on older versions of Minecraft or the Buildcraft mod. But I finally just went in through some trial and error and figured out how exactly each engine needs to function. Well, here we have the three engines. Here is a redstone engine. You can recognize it by the fact that it has a brown texture on it. The Stirling engine, you recognize it by the fact that it is gray. A combustion engine, you recognize it by the fact that, depending on your point of view, it's either silver or white. Now the way these work is this. The redstone engine, because of the way it is currently built in Buildcraft, needs to be directly connected to something, for instance the pump, in order for it to give even a small amount of power out. Here's a switch. It can be positioned anywhere around the engine, just as long as it is positioned anywhere on a block around it. The way I was able to do it was I was able to place a wooden block here. I could then place the switch on top, and it still worked. So I would advise that as being the farthest away that the switch can be put to make the Stirling engine function. As for how powerful it is, the most I was able to get out of it as far as power was when I was running a fuel rig and I was trying to convert the oil to fuel. The most the Stirling engine was able to do for me was power the fuel pipe on the exit point of the refinery into a fuel tank, because it needed to have power to extract the fuel, and the Stirling engine had just enough power to power that extraction pipe. It's called a wooden waterproof pipe, by the way, in case you're interested. Here is the Stirling engine. Now, of all the three engines, all of them can explode if you don't manage them properly. The redstone engine, it just needs to be directly connected to something when it's powered, that way it never explodes. The combustion engine, it can be directly connected to something but still explode. Although here's how to avoid that. Set up the Stirling engine wherever you want it, then connect it to a wooden pipe, a wooden conductive pipe, and then after that it can be connected by the cobblestone pipe, which is here, or any other pipe, and connect that up to the device you're powering. Now, it needs to be a wooden pipe that connects the Stirling engine to a cobblestone, iron, or gold pipe, just because that's how the Buildcraft mod functions. That's the only way to maintain any conductivity, so that way the Stirling engine won't explode. Now the way the Stirling engine works is that it takes pretty much any fuel that the furnace can use. In this case I'm putting lava in, turn it on, and actually if you compare the two, it appears that the Stirling engine definitely pumps much faster starting off than the redstone engine, interestingly enough. And just like the lever that would power a redstone engine, you can put the switch anywhere next to the Stirling engine as long as it is no more than one block away. And in fact, if anyone's interested, because the redstone engine does not have any options for it like the Stirling engine, or as I'll show, the combustion engine, you can put the switch right on the back of the redstone engine and it will still function. So this is sort of like the most compact that the redstone engine can get. Now, the combustion engine, this is a bit of a beast, because when you get into the options, here's where you put the fuel, and it's basically oil that has been processed into fuel. See if I can find that real quick. Here's a fuel bucket, and if I put it in like this, it starts showing up there. Now what needs to go in there is actually water, and the reason is you need water to keep the combustion engine cool, because if you don't, it will explode. And this is where it's very different from the other two engines. Whether or not you have the combustion engine connected to a device or a conductive pipe to make sure that it's constantly giving out power, unless this has water going into it, it will explode. So that's something that you need to be careful of. And as such, the combustion engine is actually the least favorite engine, well, least of my favorites. If anything, I prefer the Stirling engine, because with that, as long as I have conductive pipes going from it, I don't have to worry about it powering anything, because it can stay running and something can go missing and it will not explode at all. Anyways, here's the engines again: redstone engine, the Stirling engine, and the combustion engine.